Wow, that's big.
So this should be hectic.
That's disgusting.
Well, yeah, he also fit like behind all the racks.
Stay here like someone else.
3, 2, 1. Wow, that's big. More people?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that
It
big.
just kept coming.
No, like genuinely, I'm getting you to do that task from now on because everyone else is really bad at it. And you just sat behind there and went.
Okay?
Now we'll start to lower it.
You got too many people on this end, you need someone else down there.
Yeah, I'm going.
Hang on, hang on.
Hold on a second. Okay, let me step in beside Curtis. This is now going to be a slab of wall art. So we're cutting a 48 by 50 inch square on one end of this. We're going to char it, like really char it. We're trying to turn the surface to charcoal. Then we're going to cast it in our black forest deep resin, and it's going to get hung on our client's wall. And then the same guy's also getting the tree.
Just checking, grain is going this way. So this is the photo. It
The short grain is the 50. Or the long grain is, this is the 50, right?
This is 50.
Yeah.
This is 46.
Yep, that's what it looks like to me. 'Cause then it'll hang this way on the wall.
So I'm doing 52 and then 48. We're actually not using too much of the slab. Like you could still make a really big river table out of that,
Oh, for sure.
in my opinion.
At first glance, it may seem a little wasteful that we're using such a big slab to cut out a small square piece of wood to hang on the wall, but there's a few reasons that were important to our client that it had to be this piece of wood. Number one, he didn't want to have any epoxy in this piece, and even if he did, we wouldn't have been able to accommodate it since he wants that charred Shusugi band finish on this slab. Number two, this species isn't just any kind of cedar, it's Lebanese cedar, which holds quite a bit of biblical significance. This was very important to him to have some meaning behind this piece, and as soon as he heard that we did have a slab available of Lebanese cedar, he was sold on this piece. What you're seeing Garrett work on here right now is just cutting this piece oversized. So this is just a rough cut. It's not necessarily 100% clean, but then once we've got this off cut to a more manageable size, we'll set it up with the track saw so we can get it trimmed down exactly so it fits in our client's opening.
Beautiful thing. We're cutting up this piece of Lebanese cedar so that it can be an art piece to go to New York. Very fancy. We're also going to light it on fire.
This is for our client who has also ordered that log over there as an art installation in the entry of his home. And then we're using this piece of Lebanese cedar as a wall art piece. So Garrett is going to torch this whole thing. I think he's pretty excited about it, as you can tell by his face. And we haven't really done something like this before. We're not just trying to char the outside, like with a light scorch. We're actually trying to turn it right into charcoal. Really incinerate this. So hopefully this goes well.
Go into somewhere where it's not so windy.
Come on. You can see there's sparks, I swear.
With the Shusugi band finish, there's various levels you can take it to. Some clients just want a light char where you're actually still able to see some of the natural color of the wood through it, whereas other clients, like this one, want total char where it's black all the way around and you're getting that almost scaled or alligator look to the appearance of the wood. The trick with that is burning it very carefully so that you're not going to warp the piece of wood during this process. If you were to completely char one side at a time to that full level of blackness that you're looking for, it would almost certainly warp towards the side that you're burning because you're shrinking the wood on that side and taking all of the moisture out of it. So in order for us to actually pull this off with success and be left with a piece that is flat enough to hang on the wall, we had to kind of flip it like you were cooking a steak, one little bit at a time, charring a little bit here, a little bit there. In total for this, it was probably over 10 times that we had to burn it, cool it, wire brush it, and then burn it even more.
Do you think this is good?
I think so, but
That's with the torch.
it needs to be bigger cracks.
Well, it might even have to go a bit farther than this.
Yeah, even bigger, more than that.
It's actually got like more figure showing up than you could see in it before.
Yeah.
Yep.
So today we're lighting more stuff on fire.
And even after we hit it with the large torch, we had to come back with a smaller blowtorch that had a smaller, more direct flame that would get right into the cracks of the wood and make sure we didn't have any of those light colors showing through at all.
So, as you guys just saw, we just lit this thing on fire, a whole bunch. And then after we lit it on fire, there was like all these little cracks and stuff, which we went in and then basically reburned and brushed off. So currently, if I touch this, there's gonna be, well, that's a bad example, very little soot that's gonna come up compared to before. So that means that there's gonna be less soot that gets in our resin that we're gonna be coating this thing with. So our next plan is, we've got silicone all along the table here that's gonna prevent our leaks from going anywhere. I'm gonna mix up, I think like 1,500 mils of our Black Forest deep resin and then brush it across this whole surface with some of these foam brushes so that the bristles don't get stuck. And hopefully it all goes well. And then we're gonna come back in like a couple times a day for the next 3 days and make sure there's no drips, because this is the bad side and we want the good side to stay good. We might have to do this a few times.
Yeah, maybe even throughout the day today, you can come back a couple times and.
In theory, we can do, at least the way that I think about it, you can do 24-hour after we have the deep and sealed it. Right?
Probably.
I don't know. Maybe that's
Yeah.
just, otherwise it's going to be here for 3 weeks
Yeah.
for this side.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the job will be waiting on it, I would assume.
Yeah.
Also, wouldn't be surprised if burning it seals it to some extent.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason they do the Shusugi ban, right? It's supposed to make it weather and rot proof.
Does it close the pores?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually going quite well, Jack.
Yeah.
There you
It's
go.
going pretty good.
I honestly think we should just leave it painted like this and not.
We're
fly it.
gonna try and
We're gonna
convince him
propose
that.
it to him.
We
Oh,
might
good.
just
That'd be
not
way
do
better.
that.
It'll have
Yeah.
texture and it'll look.
Yeah.
Especially if it's up on a wall.
Yeah.
If the sun hits it, it's just gonna look like white.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna get a glare.
Yeah,
and see
like if
nothing.
it's cast, you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you-
This will be way better.
If
Yeah.
you want super modern style, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wants it cast still. Hopefully not. And then we want to prevent voids from filling up. Is that correct?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just go in with a dry sponge brush after and try and.
Soak any excess, yeah.
The original plan for this piece was for us to char it, seal it, and then fully encapsulate it in a block of resin so that there was going to be a 1/4 inch covering all the faces. And while we were working on the sealing process, we all kind of came to consensus that there's no way we could go and seal this and cover up all the texture that was left on the surface of this charred piece. So instead of that, we just brushed on a really thin coat. We even kind of worked it in with a brush, worked it in with our gloves, and we left it thin enough so that the wood would soak all of that epoxy in and it wouldn't actually leave a layer on top of the piece. So the effect that that gave us was this really interesting textured piece of wood, but that you could still touch and not lift up the char and get a black stain on your hand. So this is only one part of a 3-piece furniture package. We still have an entire log sculpture and a bubinga closet that we have to deliver to our client. So we're gonna leave the choice for what you guys see in the next video up to you. So we want you to let us know in the comments below. Would you rather see the log sculpture or the bubinga closet? And we will take whichever one has more comments and show you that in the next video. In the meantime, we're gonna get this packed up into the crate. We'll hop on a plane to fly down to New York, and we'll get this installed for our client.
Just pulled up to our client's house. We've got probably a good 12 hours of work today and maybe some more tomorrow, so fingers crossed all goes well. He's here for the day, you say? No. Our truck's coming here.
It's going well.
Yes, so obviously being here in Brooklyn, there's not a lot of room, and the truck has got to just block the intersection and the crosswalk, and we're going to block the sidewalk. And everyone's getting mad, so this should be hectic. We just need a drill.
Do you have a forklift or something? No. So I don't think we can put such a big box on the lift gate.
What we've done before with crates that are long, we overhang them, we just manually hold it, and then we drop the cart.
This one needs to help out.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's like scary to drive it. To just exist here.
Can you say that as the bus almost hit a biker?
Yeah. It was like 48 by 50 something, and like this looks like 60 or more.
We have enough room to bring it in and drop it
We
down.
do, yeah.
It's just not a lot of room.
No. And we gotta rotate our cleats.
So if you want to lay that down, take them off.
Sure.
Then put it here.
Watch your top,
Okay.
Bring it over and drop it down.
So right there. It hangs in there, but we can just set it down.
Yeah.
Now there was one little miscommunication that ended up happening that you may have noticed. Originally the grain was going to be going horizontally, so our French cleats were mounted to do that, but it was supposed to go the alternate way. Now fortunately it was just as simple as rotating our French cleats, and it didn't mean that we had to cut the piece down, but it was an easy fix and the client was very happy with the way it ended up going.
We just measure with them together, and that's where we put the bottom of that one off there.
Okay.
With whatever gap we are doing for centering.
So basically,
Just it could come literally just via touching the top of it like that, because it's never be seen.
no. Something like that, give or take.
Yeah.
Do we have screw hit? I guess we'll just screw in the.
Yeah, I'll do like 4 screws.
Yeah. And how much do we need? We only need to be able to raise and drop that much, right?
Which is 3/4.
Okay.
So that means that we'll have 3/4 at the top, 1/4 at the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm taking a power plane that off.
Like that. Play this, the pointy part.
Yeah, just trying to think. Because
And how far away is
the
this?
3/4.
Okay.
So if we power plane 1/4 inch off, 1/4 inch off, That'd be ½ inch, ½ inch. Then it just goes on, tight to the top, drop in, should have ½ inch, ½ inch.
Yeah.
Just get more clear.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because the way it is right now, we will be a quarter short, pretty much.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Like, are we exact right now, John, or are we a quarter inch big actually?
Or quarter inch big.
It is a quarter inch
Yeah.
big, right?
So I'm just trying to think if I do
Like, I don't know, yeah, like something, and then they're gonna put rocks or something on top.
at least 3/8. I could do a 3/8 soffit. That'll give us an 1/8 of extra play.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So far today, this has been like the challenge because it's the only thing that didn't go to
Yeah,
plan.
which isn't bad, because this isn't what we thought was going to be.
It is stud. There's a lot of pipe running there though. Holy cool.
Did you find?
Yep. Yep, it's stud. Can I help you at all with this?
Tape it on the sides
Yeah.
while we put it in.
Yeah. Watch it.
Okay, rip this in half.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. And then go up.
And then kind of lift it up at the end.
Yeah, or we just slide in on an angle.
Yeah, we'll have our hand phone with us.
We have, like, remember we only have 1 inch in height, so we can't be like up here, like here. We can also put shims.
I was just thinking we can put shims and then
Here,
slide
there's
it on
some shims right
those.
there.
Let me see, this is one right here. Oh, sorry.
So with this drive, it looks... Yeah, I got one more coat. We gotta do another round here. We're gonna fill that up, but then, yeah, we're gonna put one of these.
There we go. No. That is awesome.
That's really cool.
So
it
cool.
fits so cool.
Was that good for you guys?
That did, yeah, that would have been.
Oh my.
That's cool, eh?
Hey.
Sick. I love all the different medians now. It's just so many different things going on. This is sick.
Okay, and here's our wall art piece installed into our client's office. So this is his personal office in here. There's some really cool pieces like this aircraft wing for a table that's from the first ever commercial airliner. And then here's what we've done. So this is a slab of Lebanese cedar we got from GL Veneer, and it was a giant piece. It took a really big slab to actually yield something that would fit in this space, because this space is 43 inches wide, and our client did not want any natural or live edge on this slab. He just wanted it totally solid wood, so we had to find this giant slab of Lebanese cedar. We cut it square, and then we've done the Shisugi band finish all over the surface. And to actually preserve this finish and make it durable, we just rubbed on a thin coat of epoxy just by hand, and it's actually made it so that when you rub this piece, you're not getting charcoal all over your hands, but it still has that brilliant appearance. So really happy with the way this came out, and our client has a nice special sentimental item that's going to go in front of here for most of the time. So it just couldn't have went better, and huge thank you to our client for actually trusting us to put such a special piece in his office.